RadioNOW 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.
Hello, I'm Emily Metheny, your host. This week I had the chance to talk with the Fishers Arts Council about what the organization is doing to support artists and the community during a very different summer. Board member Jill Lehman walked me through what the summer events look like this year and what resources are available online for artists. So Jill, can you tell me a little bit about the Fishers Arts Council and where it came from?
Sure. The Fishers Arts Council was founded several years ago. It actually came out of an initiative with the city of Fishers, and the whole focus for what we do is around, being a leading art organization for the city of Fishers and partnering with local businesses, organizations, artists, performers, students, and others that are interested in arts and culture and enhancing our vibrant city with arts and culture.
And typically during the summer, what does the Fishers Arts Council do in a normal year?
In a normal year, during the summer, we work to help host a lot of different events. So we have been involved with putting on art crawls within the community where artists can set up booths at different areas within the downtown city square area, and they can have people come in and take a look and sell their artwork. We also have helped with bringing some of the art to the Fishers Farmers Market, to the Spark Fishers events. We host a gallery in the City Hall at Fishers that we rotate art and have monthly art events showcasing those artists and hosting receptions for public community to come in and participate.
And because the summer's a little different with the pandemic, what has the Fishers Arts Council been doing?
Sure, it's definitely been a different summer for us. So we've tried to, like a lot of other organizations, pivot and shift and figure out what we could do remotely and virtually. So while we didn't have public exhibitions in City Hall, we did continue to hang art and host virtual experiences and a virtual gallery and interviews with the artists that were on display to still have some form of an exhibition and access to art and these artists during the time. We also participated in a lot of the surveys that took place with the State of Indiana and the Arts and Cultural Commissions and different organizations around arts in the pandemic and where funding and grants were needed. We also did our own survey to the artists in our network to reach out to them and ask them questions about how they were faring during this time, what we could help with. We have ran a series of virtual learning events for artists called the Asset Series, where we have had panels with individuals come in and talk about tips and techniques to help artists with marketing their art, with partnering and working with galleries. And we've got a couple more sessions that will continue in that series with our partners with Ignite Studios, which is based out of the Hamilton East Library, and just having that resource for artists during the time.
And if someone wants to look into and join one of the Asset Series, how can they join or be part of that?
Sure, it's welcome to anyone, but you can go to the Fishers Arts Council website, and you can go to the promotion around the Asset Lecture Series, and you can register.
And is there a fee for this, or is it free and open to everyone?
It's free and open to everyone.
Excellent. And for the gallery walks that you did digitally, are those still available online?
They are. They are. So, and we have all of those cataloged and will be available on our website for, I think we've got a series of about 3 months out there now. We are moving into live events, and we hosted our first live event, which we did both live and virtual, in our gallery at City Hall earlier this month, and then we will do the same similar both virtual and live events for our next round of Artists in August, and I can give you the dates for those activities.
Yeah, please.
So our upcoming events are for August, are going to be with James Anderson. We'll have a reception with music on August 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. Our September exhibits will be more of caricature art and illustration with a reception on September 18th, and we'll have music at that event. On September 12th, our reception will be with the Fishers Parks Foundation at Heritage Park, and that will be hopefully another outdoor event where we can have art and a time for you to engage with it. But the other events on the 7th and on September 18th are at the City Gallery in Fishers in the City Hall building, and also you can view those online on our website.
Excellent. And are you active on social media as well?
We are. So we have a Instagram account, we have a Facebook account, and you can go and see some of our Facebook Live videos. Excellent.
And then if someone wants to get involved with the Arts Council as an artist, how can they do that?
It's super easy. You just reach out to us via our contact information. We will get you set up to be a member and begin participating. Same with any individual who's interested in volunteering to support the organization. Just reach out to us via our contact information on our website or on social media, and we will get you connected.
Excellent. And then I was looking through your website, and you have some resources available for artists who might have been hit hard during the pandemic. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so there is on our website. We've worked really hard over the last year to update our website and put more and more content, especially since the pandemic has hit. So there are different ways that you can get involved. We've got resources that we've put out there that we've researched or have been given to us around small business loans, financial access, unemployment, tax preparation information that the Indiana Arts Commission has put out, and resources for artists during COVID-19. We have built a section around kind of emotional support, too, if anyone is struggling during this time as well, and what are available to you from a mental health and access to, different resources during this time. So we just wanted to be a resource and put as much information as we could together for artists that were going through, this unprecedented time and what's happened to, art and the closing of, art exhibitions, the closing of art fairs, the economic focus, shifted slightly away maybe from art during this time, and just how can we help? How can we provide some resources to us? That's really what we're passionate about, and hopefully have put out for individuals on our website.
And kind of touching on art during the pandemic, we've been seeing a lot of art coming through just between the pandemic and the protests and everything. Why is it that we always seem to turn to the arts when we have these emotions?
Sure. And this is, the whole premise of why I'm so passionate about art. And I'm a member of the Fishers Arts Council, work with a lot of different art organizations, and actually started a whole business, High Frequency Arts, focused on bringing attention to the value of art in our lives and in our workplaces and in our community. And I believe now more than ever the importance that art plays in our society. When you look at its role that it's played in our history and documenting history, when it emphasizes what's happening and our emotions in the present, and it can also give us this great outlook into the future. It not only brings, during this time of high emotion, stress and anxiety, beauty, inspiration, creativity, but it's also proven that when we engage with art, and it doesn't matter what form that is, whether it's a visual arts or performing arts, that it is actually proven to reduce serotonin levels, which is a key stress hormone. And this is why there's a lot of conversations around art and art therapy and the use of hospital settings, but really it goes much broader into, all aspects of a individual, an organization, no matter what type of organization it is, and within communities. When we talk about so that's a little bit, I think, why art has been drawn in so much during the pandemic and all of those emotions and stressors that we're feeling and the relief that it can provide. But during this time of social unrest, too, art has always played a role in making a difference and helping communicate and spark controversy and also evolution into healing. So I'm not surprised how art has been, as the emotions have continued to evolve, that art has come in and started to play and have impact, with what's happening. So it's critical. It's also proven that, during times of economic relief, the role that art and artists play in communities and making them vibrant and helping communities take foot. I mean, you can look not only in Indiana, but in cities across the globe where artists come in and populate areas. And it's usually because it's a low-rent area. It's an area that they can populate and be creative in, and then they get the vibe, they get the energy happening, and then that's when, builders and other residential interested and retail starts coming in and populating. And that's proven over and over in cities across America. It's proven here in the Indianapolis area when you look at the Fountain Square areas that we have, when you look, early in Broad Ripple history and Carmel's history, art plays a critical role in building of society and community and economic relief.
And if anyone wants to get involved with the Fishers Arts Council or follow along and connect, can you give the website one more time, Jill?
Sure. So the website, you just go to fishersartscouncil.org. You can reach out to us on Facebook, Fishers Arts Council, or Instagram at Fishers Arts Council.
And is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just appreciate the time to learn a little bit about the organization and what we do, and allow me to share a little bit of what we see as an organization and what I am as an individual very passionate about, because art plays such a critical role in what's happening today, and it will continue to play a critical role as we evolve. And I hope that it inspires more people to either return to art or engage with art for the first time.
Roxie Randall, Manager of Community Outreach for the Indianapolis Animal Care Services, joined us for the second part of the show to talk about the organization and how to keep pets safe during the hot summer months.
So what Indianapolis Animal Care Services, or IACS, does is we are run by the city. So we are obligated to take in any animal that is found in Marion County. And so that makes us an open intake shelter. So right now we are doing doing intakes by appointment only. So that means that while we are still taking in every animal that's brought to us, there's just a little bit of a waiting period in order to bring the animal. And during that time, if it's a stray, we're encouraging people to try and look for the owner on their own. Indy Lost Peddler is a really great resource, and we sing their praises a lot because they help reunite pets with their owners without them having to come into the shelter. Because coming into the shelter could potentially expose that animal to, upper respiratories and things like that, which are unnecessary and they don't need to deal with. But kind of the flip side of that also is if an animal is brought in, it's possible that the owner may not know that the shelter exists, so they may not know to come looking there for their animal. So it's possible that they may not be reunited, or it may take even longer until that owner learns about the shelter. So that's been kind of one of our biggest obstacles right now, is that part of it. But other things that we do at the shelter, we have an Indy Cares program. So animals that are facing surrender, we have a conversation with the owner, and we see what it is that's forcing them to have to come surrender their animal, and we see if we can help them. Through that program, we're able to help with veterinary costs. We are not able to help with ongoing issues, but if it's like a one-time surgery for an animal, we're able to help with that, or like those kinds of things. We help with spay, neuter, and getting vaccines up to date for the animals if that's a barrier to keeping them. We also help with training resources, food, toys, crates, kind of any necessary materials that we feel like could help the owners. And we also do a lot of education about like behavior problems or like things that the animals may be stressing them out that helps them stay in the home instead of coming into the shelter.
And where can people learn more about the programs that you are offering and the services?
So that information can be found on indy.gov and then /Animal Care Services. We also have a Facebook page that we do a lot of our announcements on, so you can be sure to follow us there and look for updates about some of our programs that we offer that just might be on a hold right now because of the current climate, such as our Freedom for a Day program. We are still doing adoptions, but again, they're also by appointment only because we are limiting the number of people within the shelter. So if someone comes to adopt an animal, they can't enter the building. Instead, on their application, they'll indicate what animals they're interested in. As long as it's just a couple, our adoption staff are really great about helping people find the animal that's a good fit for their home. So when they come for that appointment, if it's a dog, the adoption counselor will bring the dog to an outdoor run, let the family hang out, talk to them, answer any questions. If that dog's not a good fit, they try and help them find another one during their appointment time. And for cats, we do have a little area that they just come right into the building to interact with the cat.
Excellent. And then just touching on helping animals and keeping the animals at home if possible. How can people keep their animals safe during the hot summer months? So
during all of this heat, it's been very hot here recently. You can make sure that they're out for short periods of time. Per city ordinance, if it is 90 degrees or above, or if there's a heat advisory out, all animals that you would normally have outside must be brought inside to a temperature-controlled facility to prevent heat stroke. I would say short amounts of time outside. Make sure you're watching them. Make sure they have access to lots of water. We also want to encourage people to look for signs of heat stroke in dogs, which include like rapid panting, a bright red tongue, vomiting, diarrhea. Just they're like not acting normal. Sometimes they can see like they're a little out of it, a little dizzy. In that case, you want to bring them inside and you want to contact your vet as soon as possible. And you don't want to immerse them in anything that is too terribly cold because you don't want to shock their system. Mm-hmm. So like some cool rags and small amounts of water until you can get them to a vet for emergency treatment.
Would ice be a good thing to offer your dog, or would that also shock their system?
If they're experiencing heat stroke symptoms, it would be a shock to them. But if they're acting normally, you can offer like dog treats that are frozen in ice or like toys that are in ice to help try and keep them cool. But if they have heat stroke symptoms, that'll be too much of a shock.
And then when it comes to going for walks, what's the kind of the rule of thumb for pavement if you're walking your dog in your neighborhood?
If you take the back of your hand and you put it on the pavement and you can't hold it there for 5 seconds, then it is too hot to walk your dog on that pavement because it'll burn their paw pads.
And recently I had a chance to talk with Fido, Friends of Indianapolis Outdoor Dogs. And they mentioned that you guys have a relationship.
Yes, we absolutely love Fido. They've been a really great resource to us because Fido does a lot of fantastic things that also help keep dogs in the home and keep dogs, confined and keep owners up to date and in compliance with city ordinances. We have a couple of our ACOs that work very closely with them, and we're grateful for that partnership, and we're able to support each other so much. If anybody, sees something that they want to report, you can call the Mayor's Action Center. That is 317-327-4622. If you need to make a phone call, if you're able to do it online, or you can download the app for your phone, you can go to RequestIndy.
And at what point should a neighbor be concerned for the pets?
If they see that, the pet has been outside and it's over 90 degrees, or there's a heat advisory, and they've been outside for 30 minutes or longer, and they don't see an adult out there with the animal, then they should make a report.
And is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I did want to mention that adoptions are free right now.
Oh, excellent.
And our same website is where you can find our adoption application, and all of our adoptable animals are listed there too.
And for your website, is it updated as animals come in and out, or is there a delay?
There's a little bit of a delay. I think it's a few hours delay between our system and Pet Finder.
And if I'm setting up my application, I send in my application to do the appointment.
It can take up to 48 hours to receive a response from us. We will reach out via email, so make sure that you're checking the emails that you put on your application. We have had people tell us that our emails are going to their spam folder, so we've been encouraging people to check there. And if it's been 48 hours and you haven't received any response and you've checked your spam folder, just go ahead and submit a new application.
Excellent. And that's all on the website at indy.gov.
Yes.
If you want to reach out, or if you have topics you would like me to cover, you can reach me at Metheny. That's Emetheny at radio-1.com. Thank you for listening, and please join me again next week. Until then, have a great week.
Radio Now 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.